On today's podcast, we're talking about Squid Game. Now, you remember the TV show, right? That was the one where it was players playing children's games with adult consequences and trying to win big prizes. A Korean TV show. Well, now it's Squid Game The Challenge that's on Netflix right now as we speak. And there were 456 people vying for $4.56 million. 4 of those people out of the hundreds of thousands that applied got in. We're talking with 2 of them today. They are Allison Chu, who won the titles of Miss Hawaii 2016 and Miss Hawaii USA 2021, and Hawaii comedian and personality Pashyn Santos.
I saw it on the news. I don't know if I saw it on Hawaii News Now, but when my mom saw it too, and she's like, "You should enter for Squid Game." And I was like, "Well, I already loved the show. Like I binged it like twice, which I never do. I only usually watch the show once, but so I just entered, and then like just kind of for like giggles, and was like shocked that I even got on. Honestly, yeah.
Casting director reached out to me, Bobby Silva. He's a local boy from Kailua. And he DM'd me in my Instagram, and I thought it was a complete scam. I was like, there's no way Netflix is trying to reach out to me for something. But turns out it was that, and I still went through the whole audition process. And yeah, it was such a blast to be a part of. Like every step of the way, even the audition process was so production heavy.
Yes.
There's so much things that we had to go through, and psych tests before we even go. We have to make sure we're cleared by doctors here.
Yes.
But
there was 90,000 applicants from around the world who applied, and then both of us got on. I've always heard about Pashyn, and of course like Pashyn's like on TikTok and like everything, and we just have like so many mutual friends. So I always like have like seen Pashyn and like know of her, but like never really like met her before. And then when I was like in the game, like everybody was like, "Oh yeah, there's this girl from Hawaii, like she has blue eyes, and like you really gotta meet her." I was like, "Who is this chick with like blue eyes from Hawaii? Like who's that?" And then I met Pashyn. I was like, "Oh my god, wait!"
me,
Yes,
the Hapa girl.
yes.
And of course, everybody knows the Chu sisters, the former Miss Hawaii's, and Allie's such a sweetheart. We have so many mutual friends in common. And when we saw each other, we knew right away that we had each other's back.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, we're the Hawaii girls. We gotta have each other's back. We don't have to hang out. That was kind of part of our strategy.
Yes, yeah.
To like make sure that we can like get information, come back if we need to, tell each other, and just, you know, make Hawaii proud as much as we can.
Right.
And then we both got the umbrella line.
I guess for like red light, green light, even though it was like 5 minutes, and it's like, you know, in one episode, so it's so fast, but it actually was like, we were super cold for like over
the longest 5 minutes of my life.
Yeah, it was forever. But yeah, so like even, because every time they, you know, had played the song and then they stopped it, you know, they had to make sure, okay, who's moving, and there's like 456 of us, so they had to like make sure it was fair. And so every time they would pause the song, like, you know, they'd have to check, but that would take like a while. And like, so you're holding this pause. And even for me, like, there was a guy who like pushed me, to get ahead. Yeah. And so I literally, like, I was like, you know, running, and then last minute, this guy pushes me and the song stops and my ankle rolls. And I'm literally like this, like hanging over the guy. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I hope I do not fall. And then we had to hold that for like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. But I made it.
Yeah, and I think just being with so many people in the dorms and having to live with so many people that are not from Hawaii. They don't have the Hawaii like customs. We're just so like aloha. We're good with each other, and yet you have other people.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. I feel like we always had each other's back, and like it was just funny, like, seeing how so many other people were, like, not like that, like, super cutthroat and, like, super into it. And, like, we obviously both, like, wanted to win too, but, you know, we just, I don't know, I think there's, like, a way to go about it, and just having aloha is, like, obviously the best.
You know, one of the things, I'm going to call it, like, the many faces of Allie, because the food was horrible. The food was, we were on, like, a calorie deficit. And the food had no seasoning at all.
Yeah.
And it was like a boiled piece of chicken and rice, or like overnight oats soaked in water.
Yes.
And I remember one time, it was right before the umbrella game, or the dalgona. Right before dalgona, they gave us this like pasta that was like, it looked like they just put sauce on it from a tomato can.
Or like canned beans, and like they like poured it over.
And Allie took a bite and she was like, mm-mm. But we're so hungry that we like ate it anyways.
I know.
Yeah.
It wasn't Zippy's chili. That's
wasn't Mac salad and yeah.
It's funny because I feel like I got so into the game where like I even was like, I'm not even missing home anymore, because you kind of go into like survival mode, you know, like you're out, we're so far away from home, we're filming in London. We're in this like dorm, like there's no clock, we didn't have our phones,
no access to the outside,
no
we didn't know what time it was.
Yes, there was like nothing. And so even like I don't even know like how many hours of sleep we were getting at some point, because they would just, you know, it's just like the real game, they like wake you up with the music.
They're like lights out and wake up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, wow, was that like what, how many hours was that? My family's super stoked, and like they're super happy, and they're just like, I get so many calls like, oh my gosh, I just saw you. But yeah, they're super proud of me, so I'm super happy I got to be a part of it.
Yeah, my family is super stoked for me. They're also like, why they don't get you talking that much, because you and Portuguese talk so much. And honestly, I lost my voice when I was there. I had no voice, and so and I think it was because of the extreme cold, and we're kind of dehydrated. And so the entire time I was there, after red light, green light, I had no voice. So the tita couldn't come out.
I know. I think when I met her, I was like and I was expecting like, oh yeah, and I was like,
hi, Ellie.
I'm like, oh, are you okay? Like, is that you?
No, I'm
not. Just getting to be there, and like you meet so many people from all around the world, and like learn about their lives, and like they gave us so much time, which I don't think they really like show as much, but like they gave us so much time to just talk story with like everybody. Like that's all we did. Like some days like we would just be there for an entire day, or even 2 days of like not playing games. Like they just had us like talk story with people, and like there's nothing else to do. There's no windows, we don't know what time it is. Like that's all we did was talk story literally like for hours.
With no technology, and so it's interesting to see like what comes out. And there were days where we were just playing like kid games the whole day. There was like 30 people in a duck duck goose game, or like we would take off our jackets and string it across the way to make like a giant jump rope, and then we were playing what is that, volleyball, and with not a ball, everybody took off their socks and they made a ball with the socks.
Yeah, I remember that. That's right.
So it's just really fun to see like how creative we could be in a space that almost seemed like, I don't know, a prison, but with a little bit of lax.
There was like people from everywhere around the world, like Scotland, Ireland, like
Caribbean. Yeah, there was this girl from South Africa, and she was so cool. It took her forever to get there. I think a lot of the people from Europe were really neat to vibe with, and because their culture is just so different. And I don't know, I was obsessed with everybody's accent. So I was like, talk to me.
Australia. There's a lot of Aussies too.
Yeah.
From the time we like got out there,
we had to quarantine for a little while.
Yeah.
And then filming was probably like I think like a week and a half maybe.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
the days blurred.
Kind of it did blur. But very different food from Hawaii. So
I'm like, I don't know if this is London or British food, but I don't really like this.
no offense, like you guys love your food, but
Right, and I'm a foodie, but that's I don't know. Not
we
really,
love
just-
our food.
We love our food. After the game, like I had like a long time until like my flight was gonna leave, so like I just ended up going into like the city and like just like exploring a little bit with some of the other squids. But that's like all we really got to. And then at the hotel after, like we got to talk story.
Yeah,
a
we
little
got
bit.
to see each other at the hotel. I did a little bit of London exploring, which was really cool. But they were also really tight with us, making sure that there was nobody leaking information.
Yeah.
So we were allowed to go and come right back, but yeah, it was kind of tight.
Yeah.
They were pretty secure with it. Ali and I were talking, and we both ended up in the umbrella line. And there's a scene where this guy ends up caving and gets the umbrella for our entire line. And while that was happening, Ali and I was like, man, where's our local boys when we need them? And then we were like, you know what? I would have gone. I would have let the tittle loose. I wouldn't have backed down. I would have got the triangle. Would have got the circle.
We don't crack.
We're not gonna crack.
We don't crack under pressure. I was just trying to do Hawaii proud. Like, I felt like I wish we got further, you know. And I think honestly, if we didn't get umbrella, because I don't know about you, but I was so close.
She was so close.
So I literally had it all, and then just the stem.
Just
and
the
I
stem.
literally, I think I still had like 2 more minutes. Like, so if I didn't rush, I honestly probably would have got it. But I was just freaking out on time. I wish I made it a little further, but also just, you know, Hawaii, I feel like we both still made Hawaii proud, just even being there and like, you know, showing up, showing our aloha.
And although we didn't get to see a lot of the aloha that Ali and I shared, we wanted to make sure that that's what we brought. And although the money would have been great as a down payment on a square foot of land here, it was
For a little garage.
we just wanted to showcase who we are as people here.
Mahalo for listening to Island Beat. You can listen to any of these shows anytime and anywhere you go. Head to hawaiinewsnow.com/podcasts. Malamapono, aloha, ahuiho.